You know, there are days when life hits us hard. No matter how much we plan or prepare, things seem to go in directions we never expected. It feels like the world is pulling the strings, not us. We wake up thinking, "I've got this," only to be reminded that life is unpredictable, and we're not as invincible as we thought. It's a humbling feeling, one that I think we've all experienced. I've been there, maybe you have too, feeling like everything is slipping out of control. And it's in those moments, when we're overwhelmed by uncertainty, that we realize we're not the ones calling the shots. That's a tough reality to face, isn't it? But here's something we need to remember. You don't have to carry it all by yourself. Let me explain why. One of the most important lessons I have learned, and that life seems to repeatedly teach us, is that no one is immune to life's challenges. It doesn't matter who you are, how much success you've had, or how strong you think you are. Life has a way of humbling all of us. It can be through setbacks, unexpected losses, or even personal struggles we never thought we'd face. I remember a time in my career when everything seemed to be going perfectly. I was on top of the world, confident, self-assured, and maybe even a little too self-satisfied. I thought I had it all figured out. But then, out of nowhere, life threw me a curveball. Suddenly I was dealing with setbacks I hadn't anticipated. My plans crumbled, and I was left questioning everything. That experience taught me a profound lesson in humility. It showed me that no matter how much we prepare or how confident we feel, there are always forces beyond our control. And that's okay. It's part of the human experience. Humility isn't about thinking less of yourself. It's about understanding that life can change in an instant, and we must be ready to adapt. But here's the thing. This realization of our vulnerability should lead us to compassion. Everyone around us is facing their own battles. The coworker who seems cheerful all the time, they have struggles too. The friend who seems to have everything together, they're likely fighting their own personal demons. So be kind, be compassionate. We're all navigating this unpredictable journey together. And let's not forget the people who seem the strongest, the ones who are always there to lend a hand, who seem unfazed by life's challenges. Sometimes, they are the ones who need the most support. It's easy to overlook their struggles because they rarely show them. But we should always remember that no one is immune to hardship. Humility doesn't mean we see ourselves as weak or powerless. In fact, recognizing our limitations is a sign of strength. It allows us to approach life with an open heart, ready to learn, ready to grow, and ready to support others. Humility opens the door to empathy, and empathy strengthens our relationships with others and with God. When life becomes overwhelming and we feel like we're drowning in uncertainty, it can be easy to forget that God is always with us. I know it sounds like something we hear all the time, but I want you to truly think about what that means. No matter how dark things seem, no matter how lost we feel, God never leaves our side. Let me share a personal story. A few years ago, I was going through a tough time, both personally and professionally. I felt like everything I had worked for was slipping through my fingers. No matter how hard I tried, nothing seemed to go right. I was overwhelmed, frustrated, and honestly, I started to lose hope. During that time, I turned to prayer, not because I expected an instant solution, but because I needed peace. I needed to find a way to make sense of everything that was happening. And as I prayed, something incredible happened. I didn't get the answers I was looking for right away, but I felt a profound sense of calm wash over me. It was as if God was saying, "I'm here. I've got you." That experience changed how I view challenges. I realized that even when things seem impossible, God is always there, guiding us, supporting us, and giving us the strength to keep moving forward. Sometimes it's not about finding immediate solutions to our problems. It's about trusting that God will carry us through, even when we can't see the way ahead. If you've ever felt abandoned or unworthy, like you don't deserve God's love or mercy, remember this: God never turns his back on you. It doesn't matter how far you've strayed, how many mistakes you've made, or how broken you feel. He is always ready to welcome you back with open arms. I've experienced this grace firsthand, and I can promise you that you are never too far gone for God's love to reach you. This is a truth that brings so much comfort, knowing that, even in our darkest moments, we are not alone. God's love is constant, and his presence is unwavering. When you're feeling overwhelmed by life, remember that you don't have to carry the burden alone. God is with you every step of the way. It's natural to want to avoid difficulties. We all want a smooth, easy life. But the truth is, growth doesn't happen in comfort. We don't become stronger by avoiding challenges. We grow when we face them head on. Let me share another story from my life. A few years ago, I was faced with a series of setbacks that felt overwhelming. At one point, I honestly thought about giving up. I questioned whether I was on the right path, whether all the effort was worth it. But instead of throwing in the towel, I made a decision. I was going to face these challenges with faith and determination. It wasn't easy. In fact, it was one of the hardest things I've ever done. But looking back now, I realize that those struggles were a blessing in disguise. They taught me resilience, patience, and most importantly, they strengthened my faith. If it weren't for those tough times, I wouldn't be the person I am today. Here's the thing: challenges are opportunities. They're opportunities to grow, to learn, and to strengthen our faith. When we face adversity, we have two choices. We can either let it break us, or we can let it build us. And when we choose to trust in God's plan, even when we don't understand it, we allow those challenges to shape us into stronger, wiser, and more faithful individuals. The Bible teaches us that our trials and tribulations are not in vain. They serve a purpose. They refine us, just like fire refines gold. Adversity builds character, and it deepens our relationship with God. When we face hardships, we have the opportunity to lean on Him, to trust that He has a plan, even when we can't see it. I want to encourage you to look at the challenges in your life differently. Instead of seeing them as obstacles, see them as opportunities for growth. Embrace the process, knowing that every trial you face is an opportunity to grow closer to God and to become the person He created you to be. Prayer isn't just a way to ask for things from God. It's a conversation. It's a way to open your heart, to be vulnerable, and to let go of all the things that are weighing you down. Sometimes it's not about getting what we want. It's about finding peace in the middle of chaos. There was a time in my life when I was juggling so many things: work stress, personal issues, and the pressure to keep everything together. I felt like I was barely holding on. So one night, I decided to pray. But this time, I didn't ask for answers or solutions. I simply asked for strength and peace. I asked for the courage to face whatever was coming my way, and that made all the difference. Prayer changes things. It may not always change our circumstances, but it changes us. It gives us clarity, strength, and the courage to face whatever life throws at us. It's like having a conversation with your best friend, the one who listens without judgment, who offers support without expecting anything in return. When we pray, we're not just asking for things. We're building a relationship with God. We're trusting Him with our deepest fears, our biggest dreams, and everything in between. Prayer is an act of faith. It's a way of saying, God, I trust you, even when I don't understand what's happening. I trust that you have a plan, and I'm willing to follow where you lead. If you haven't made prayer a regular part of your life, I encourage you to start. You don't have to use fancy words or follow a specific formula. Just be honest. Open your heart and talk to God like you would to a friend. He's listening, and He cares about every detail of your life. Life is unpredictable, messy, and sometimes downright hard. But it's also beautiful. It's full of opportunities for growth, love, and connection. We may not be able to control everything that happens to us, but we can control how we respond. We can choose faith over fear, hope over despair. Most importantly, we can choose to trust that God is with us through every high and every low. He never abandons us, even when we feel like we're at our breaking point. And in those moments of doubt, fear, and uncertainty, prayer is the key to finding peace. It's the reminder that we're not walking this journey alone. So as you go about your day, take a moment to pause, reflect, and remember that you are loved, you are seen, and you are never alone. God is always with you, guiding you, protecting you, and giving you the strength to face whatever comes your way.